Hey guys, so today we have another episode of Mopar News. There's lots to talk about, so we'll be looking at news about the Hellcat Crate engine, the self-driving Chrysler Pacifica, Challenger 1320 times, the 797 horsepower Durango SRT Hellcat, a new Ram 1500 package, and the 2020 Charger Widebody and Charger Hellcat Redeye. So let's get right into it. So first up we have the Hellcat 426 Hemi Crate engine, which became available for pre-order on April the 26th. And April 26th is also the 26th day of the 4th month, so it made sense for Dodge to specifically choose this day to open up the pre-orders. And the 426 Hemi Crate was actually unveiled way back in October. Going back in history, the 426 was the first engine that was officially designated a Hemi, and this was a name that Chrysler trademarked. As the name suggests, the displacement was 426 cubic inches, or 7 liters, and this was around from 1964 to 1971 in various different Mopars, and it was nicknamed the Elephant engine due to the fact that the engine had a lot of power, weighed a lot, and had large physical dimensions. So the 426 Hemi was much anticipated and, as I said, available for pre-order. It is a plug-and-play supercharged crate Hemi engine with an astounding 1,000 horsepower and 950 pound-feet of torque. I'll post some more specs on screen, which also includes an aluminum block and an upgraded supercharger. So for the pre-orders, the engine cost was just under $30,000, $29,995, and there was also an engine kit for an extra $2,265 for easy installation. And in just 2 days, all of the engines sold out, but there is no word as to how many that was. Mopar states that this engine is only offered for pre-1975 vehicles because it is not compliant with emissions, but if you do live in a state without any emission or inspection programs, you can throw this thing in your street car as long as you beef up the transmission and driveline to handle all that massive amounts of power. But basically, for this piece of news, if you wanted to pre-order a 426, hopefully you did, because now they're already all sold out. The next piece of news is about Chrysler and self-driving cars. Self-driving company Waymo, who is part of Google, has recently purchased many Chrysler Pacifica hybrids, and they've partnered with SCA. Waymo has committed over 100 people to integrate self-driving hardware and software into the Pacificas, and by 2024 they will have 400 people working on this job. And the goal right now is Autonomy Level 4, where no driver attention is ever required. So the driver can go to sleep or just leave the car in almost every situation, except for special situations like traffic jams. So this could be a big future play for Chrysler, and we may see this technology into the Pacificas in the near future. Next up is some Challenger 1320 stuff. Now that this car is actually being delivered to customers, we have some official quarter-mile times that come in at under what Dodge claimed. So the Challenger 1320, if you didn't know, is basically a scat pack with tons of demon parts that are infused into it, and it's basically a drag-built car. It has the 392 6.4 liter Hemi V8 with 485 horsepower and 475 pound-feet of torque, and an 8-speed automatic. And there's also trans brake, torque reserve, line lock, adaptive damping suspension, a lightweight interior, Nexen drag radials, and lightweight rims. When the car was first announced, Dodge claimed that the quarter-mile time was 11.7 seconds at 115 miles per hour. And according to website allpar.com, Tim Holmberg is a man who owns a Demon, and his daughter has a B5 Challenger 1320. So Tim took this car to the track to test the times, and he was able to hit the quarter mile in 11.48 seconds at over 117 miles per hour while lifting the front tires off the ground. This car had just a front driver's seat, along with a lightweight battery swap, and it used the skinny front wheels and tires from the Dodge Demon. So as usual, it looks like Dodge might have understated the quarter mile times a bit, and we might be able to see some crazy times in the future from this beastly drag car. Next up is, finally, a Dodge Durango Hellcat Redeye. Now unfortunately this was a one-off, but it could be a sign of things to come in the future. So to give you guys some background information, There's a road rally called One Lap of America, which is the successor to the Cannonball Run, and the One Lap of America is basically a race across the country that took place from May 4th to May 11th, and it consists of many different challenges as drivers go through different states of the US. So for 2019, Dodge built a custom Durango SRT with the 797 horsepower 6.2-liter supercharged V8 found under the hood that was taken from the Hellcat Redeye, and it had an 8-speed automatic and the SRT all-wheel drive system, which remained untouched from the regular Durango SRT. And the car was also decked out in police trim. So they called this beast the Speed Trap, and it had many upgrades like a free-flowing catback exhaust, lowering springs to reduce the height by 15mm, 20 by 11 inch rims with 305/35/20 Pirelli P0 tires, 15.75 inch front Brembo rotors with 6 piston calipers, and 13.78 inch rear Brembos with 4 piston calipers. The Speed Trap also had the second and third row seats removed and replaced with a 4-point roll bar, and there was a 5-point driver safety harness. There have been rumors and people wanting to see the Durango Hellcat for many years, but this is the first time that we've actually seen something like this. It was made clear that this was a one-off concept, but again, this could be a sign of things to come for the Dodge Durango in the future, and in any case, it's an awesome concept to see, and it looks incredibly fast at the drag strip. Next up is a new package for the 2020 Ram 1500 called the Night Appearance Package. This will debut on the 2020 Ram 1500s, which will arrive this summer, and it's going to be available on the Bighorn/Lone Star and Laramie models only. On screen is a list of all the features that it will include, basically a nice blackout package with black 20-inch wheels, black headlight and taillight bezels, a black grille, black badging everywhere, and black exhaust tips. Pricing isn't released yet, but this does look like an awesome way to black out your truck with no ugly plasti dip needed. Last up for today, I did a video just on this topic alone last week, but the Widebody and Redeye are both confirmed for 2020 on the Dodge Charger, including 2 different Widebody variations, one for the Scat Pack and one for the Hellcats. So you can add a Widebody package to the Scat, Hellcat, or Hellcat Redeye, and if you did watch my first video, this will be much of the same information, just repeated. So for the Widebody Charger, it's very similar to the Challenger Widebody, so 3.5 inch wider fender flares, suspension upgrades, 20 by 11 inch wheels, and 305 Pirelli P0s. Each Widebody, whether it's a Scat Pack or a Hellcat, will get SRT drive modes, SRT performance pages, 6-piston Brembo front brakes, and the option of adding the performance spoiler that was found on the Charger Widebody concept. And for the Hellcat and Hellcat Redeye Chargers, there's also a bunch of upgrades, so the Charger finally gets the 797 horsepower and 707 pound-feet of torque that the Challenger Redeye has, and there's various related upgrades like the SRT Power Chiller and the After Run Chiller. And the new Charger Hellcat and Hellcat Redeye will also get a new never-before-seen hood, so that snorkel hood from the Challenger will stay specific to that vehicle. The new Charger hood description does sound similar to the current one, just with a bigger intake in the middle, and the dual air extractors will be moved further up the hood instead of right beside the scoop like before. And this hood will also be specific to the Hellcat versions, while the Scat Pack will just get the regular current Hellcat hood that we've seen from 2015 up until now. And the Redeye also has the choice of 2 final drive ratios, 2.62 comes standard or the 3.09. The black 5-spoke wheels seen at Springfest will now be standard for all the Hellcat models as well. And finally, just for the normal Hellcats and not the Redeye, horsepower goes up by 10 to 717, and the torque goes up by 6 to 656 pound-feet. So this is the exact same improvements that we saw with the 2019 Hellcat Challenger, just the Charger's getting it 1 year later. So that's all the news for this episode of Mopar News. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this segment, and what news today really excited you the most? Personally, I really love the Durango Hellcat Redeye, and that video of it launching at the drag strip was just awesome. But as always, thanks for watching, and make sure to like and subscribe for all the latest news and content from the Mopar world. And I'll see you in the next video.